Hello everyone, today is Monday, June 2nd. It's actually the 3rd as I record this. I'm in Hawaii and it's past midnight Eastern time, but just want to give an update for the core levels on the NQ and the ES for Monday, June 2nd. This is from Friday, this divergence on the precision oscillator, and then here's another great divergence. Like I said, there's usually one in the session. This one actually happened pre-market before the London Open, but nice signals here in the London session. And then as it came into the US session, here's the market open at 9:30, and we had a beautiful run up. These are Super Renko bars, and we had a beautiful run up to the extended high in the first hour. So this made it all the way to the extended high. This green shaded area is the opening range of the NQ. This is a Super Renko 88, and the extended high may be breached by a couple of ticks and then rolled over, and beautiful signals on the trend bars. And this came all the way down to the point of control. These are really big moves, and just a little bit below the opening range, and then rallied up to the expected high in the second part of the day, and finding support at the point of the control in the recalculation. So beautiful core levels on the Super Renko chart. Here's the core levels on a 3-minute chart, and here you can see the London Open. The difference in the Super Renko bars is when the market is in a range, like on the 3-minute, you may only get a few Renko bars before it breaks out of this range. So on the Renko bars, it wasn't a lot of bars because it took so long for those bars just to move within this range. So this is what it looks like on a minute-based chart, but you can see the multiple tests of the developing point of control, which is this light red line here. This was tested multiple times, and this eventually came up and locked in the point of control in the opening range. And then we had this big volatility right here, and then after the recalculation, the point of control was up here. Now, little known about this, the core levels that I forgot to show, is you can look at statistics for any market you're trading. And in this case, if I go to the core levels here, there's a box here, and I can check show statistics, and you can also fine tune your core levels for the European session and include the last hour of the previous close to allow for a large session volatility, perhaps in the previous session. You can also enable the session POC, which is a real-time point of control that doesn't lock in. It develops throughout the day. So I'm going to enable both of these. This is going back 90 days. And so here's the session POC, this kind of cyan colored line. This is the POC that locks in at 10:30. And so the developing POC here, this can be useful. All right, so here's the stats. There's 51 days, going back 60 days, and the number of times it hit the high mid 3 was 1-2% of the time, and it hit the extended high 3 times, 5.9%, the high mid 2, 19.6%, the expected high 25% of the time, the high mid 1, 30% of the time, the low mid 1, 28% of the time, and so on. You can see the stats. Expected low 51%. Now the reason this is skewed to the downside is because the market was selling off, I guess, going back 60 days. There was more selling than buying. So these stats can give you some confidence in developing your trades from the open, knowing that a certain percentage of the time the core levels will be hit. And here's your stats here. Okay, here's the core levels on the E-mini S&P, and here's the open right here, and a nice run up, and this came up to the just shy of the, well, actually above the upper buy sell zone, and this would have been a high mid 2 right here, so about halfway between the expected high and high mid 2. And then it rolled over and came all the way down to the point of control, and then the upper sell demand zone, and then that nice divergence on the precision oscillator. This was a banger of a trade, and I've showed this on every update at least once a day. There's a really great divergence on the precision oscillator, and you will be able to purchase these indicators separately now if you wanted. It's 20% off for the month of June on the core indicator. Just want you to notice the pullback to the averages. This is a beautiful day for pullback to the averages. This is the BWT moving average convergence indicator. It's a 5, 9, 18, and 45 SMA, and the 5, 9, and 18, the 9 and 18 are EMAs, the 5 and the 45 are SMAs. So just beautiful days for pullbacks for the average, basically a trend day from 10 o'clock on to the upside, and buying the pullbacks to the averages made for very good trades here. This is a Super Renko 10. Here is the ES on a minute chart. This is the London session here, and then going into the US session starting. Okay, so here's the ES, and here's the London session, trading between the sell supply demand zones, and then nice pullbacks to the average. Then after the US Open right here, above the point of control just a little bit, and then sell off down to the low mid one. I'm sorry, the open went above the expected high and then sold off down to low mid one, and beautiful signals on the trend bars, and again pullbacks to the average on the 3-minute as well as the Super Renko chart. So this came all the way up past the expected high and all the way to high mid 2 at the closing bell. Okay, and here's your stats on the ES, 55 trading days. And again, kind of biased to the downside with all the selling, but look at this, 63% to the high mid 1 and 61% to the low mid 1, and almost 30% of the time to the low mid 2 or the expected low. So with these numbers here, if you know it's going to trade to the expected high 58% of the time, if your trade is off the open right here, here's the expected high. On the ES, this is roughly 58.97 up to 59.07. That's 10 points in the ES. That's a pretty nice trade, just basing it on the numbers here. And then with this rollover, this came all the way down to low mid 2, which was 60% of the time. But it doesn't give the stats for the where it traded to the POC. But anyway, from the expected high down to low mid 2, this was a great trade. The expected low was down here. I'm sorry, this is low mid 1, so this is 61% of the time. So reaching this level is very high probability in this look back period here. Anyway, that's all for this video. The update on the BWT Core Levels, 20% off through the month of June, 25% off the Auto Trader. Thanks for watching.